I'm back with more lives.
Yay.
Yay, let's die some more. But I have Yoshi this time. I think I kind of want to get rid of Yoshi. I don't know. Oh, I could use him here.
Bye, Yoshi.
Sorry, Yoshi. I'm using you as a means to the end. Oh, that could be a trouble. Okay. So I thought of something I wanted to mention on camera while we were talking off camera. We were talking girl talk. No! No! I want that! No! I'm gonna kill myself over this! Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha. So,
Fuck you.
we were talking about depression and stuff, and as I mentioned in a previous video, I had a positive cancer result, and when it first happened, oh god, when it first happened, let's see, are you gonna stop? Okay, after 3 he stops. Oh god, just take the hit. Take the
Take
hit!
it, run, dude. There's stuff right there.
Oh, I need Yoshi.
Fuck that, dude. Just finish the guy.
Anyway, so when I got the positive result, I felt really weird. Like, I kept telling people that, like, it wasn't really cancer, or, like, it was, like, only a tiny bit of cancer, no big deal. Like, I wasn't important enough to have cancer. And that's just so messed up, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what depression does. It's like, you're going back to your level.
Yeah, going back to my level. Go back to my level.
You
There's
can
no
do
point
this.
in going to your level.
You
It's
can
your
do this.
level now. I
Um,
tried to go to your level to beat it. Couldn't beat it. I'm going back to my own god.
in your defense, you're still using a keyboard.
Yeah, that's true.
You shouldn't get a controller, so you could always use this. But anyway, it was like so weird because I didn't want to. I kept like telling myself that my problems aren't that big a deal. You know,
Right.
like you don't really have cancer. It's just like a baby cancer. You had it all removed, so what's the big deal? You know.
Right.
Even though I think, like, on the inside, I was feeling kind of scared about it. Because
Right.
it is cancer, and even though, damn it,
Whatever.
even
I do
though
better with that anyway.
they caught it at such an early stage that there's, like, no problem of it spreading or anything, that I was, like, feeling kind of weird, like, you know, when you contemplate your own mortality kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then telling myself that, no, no, contemplating
Yes.
my own mortality, no. No.
Yep.
That's why you went back to your level, damn it!
I'll take my level now.
No! So,
Have fun with this.
it was like contemplating my own mortality, but not allowing myself to be scared, if that makes sense.
Right, right,
Because I'm not important enough to be scared over something so little. Like, there's
Right.
people who have actual cancer, so
right.
I wasn't allowed to feel scared about it.
You know, and that's interesting too that you actually you kind of offhandedly say like actual cancer or whatever
Yeah.
because my uncle, my aunt's husband, so I have like an uncle, and then my aunt's husband is my uncle, and he and I were talking on Thanksgiving, and every time I talk to him, it just makes me upset. That's what you were talking
Yes.
about before. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you keep the cape till that point, then you can do that.
I can just do that. Okay, now what?
Oh, this cape might screw you up here. Okay. No! No, he was gonna get squished.
Yep.
At that point, you might want to bunk your head on the spikes so you lose the cape.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Anyway, as you were saying, real cancer and whatnot.
Yeah, no, like, where it was like this concept of like real cancer versus fake cancer. Because, like, I was talking about like online friendships
Yeah.
and how, like, sometimes when you talk to people online, he's like, well, aren't those like real conversations and real friends? I'm like, no, because it's online.
Yeah.
Or like I think what it came up like radio, like when I would I made some joke about how like I got asked on more dates when I was in college radio than I did in real life. And he's like, "Isn't that real life too?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "It's not, because it's listeners." And no.
Yeah. Like, I do want to...
Oh!
You were so close! So close! I do want to acknowledge that, like, with technology the way it is nowadays, online relationships can be very close and very good friends. Like, you and me, we've been friends for years at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Really? I mean, seriously, like...
Definitely will consider you, like, a real friend, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, me too.
But, like, it's a different category than, like... my heart, I can't take this. Than, like, people I know. No! In real life. This is my heart.
People you know in actuality. There's a here, let me help you here.
Yeah.
While you're freaking out about this. You focus, I'll talk about what I think she's trying to get at here.
Yeah.
There's a difference between people who you talk
to. I didn't know where it was going.
They have like this serious thing.
They're trying to have a serious conversation, but Mario won't let me.
There's a difference between people you talk to online and like people you talk to in person. Like, and I was saying, Lizzie and I were talking about this concept kind of in a different form off camera, but kind of like we can talk about this concept in a little bit of a less personal way. But like I was, saying like how, like when I got like offered, like how when people called in the radio station and asked for dates, it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Because they weren't there. And it's something about like talking to someone online versus seeing them like in front of you. It's very different. Like,
yeah.
My best friends are I don't like this. I had enough time to change my mind to jump back. That's awesome.
No.
Okay, I died. But like there's something about seeing someone in front of you that's like different.
Like I don't
like I can analyze the words all I want, but like at the end of the day I'm going to be interpreting them however I see them. Whereas like when you're with someone like in real life, and I say that meaning like in front of you. Like, so put your hand in front of your face right now, audience.
In person. Let's call it in person rather than real life.
I think that's a better way to, in person. Whereas, like, it can inform, what someone does in person can inform me of what they say is different. Because when you say things, they can be taken in different ways, but if you just read it, oh god. Can you help me clarify this? Because I know where I'm going, but I don't know.
So, like, it's like the body structure and facial structure, and you can read the other person's expression and adjust things based on that. So, like, if you tell a joke and they don't find it funny, online you don't know if they're just, AFK or they didn't find it funny. So the silence could just be because they lost their internet connection. Whereas in real life, you say a joke, I say real life, in person, gotta break that habit. In person, if you tell a joke and they don't find it funny, you can immediately tell what's going on. So
or at least with me with the Asperger's, have some general idea.
Yeah, you can get some sort of a idea based on their body language.
As best as I can.
Yeah, I understand some people have harder times with that than others, but that was just an example of that.
No, like with the super obvious like outside reactions. Like if someone laughs like really hard, that's different than if someone just chuckles. Like even if you take the laugh really hard, chuckle does nothing. Like the subtleties maybe I can't tell, but like those at least are very obvious.
And you get like some form of input that way.
Right.
Whereas like online they can just go silent and you don't know if they've wandered off to do dishes or like damn it.
Ooh.
Or if they wandered off to do dishes or they're like trying to figure out a way to respond to you and you've made them uncomfortable. You don't know.
Right. Like my best friend is an online friend, right?
Mhm.
I've only met him once. I consider you a really good friend, Lizzie. I've
Yay!
never actually met you in person.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like we're really good friends, but it took longer than it would have if it was in person. You know,
yeah.
because
But-
we built up, knowing each other over online throughout the years. But definitely, very good friend. Oh,
Yeah,
God, the lag.
like good times. I've said before with like my really good guy friend, like if he knew how much I actually cried when we talked,
Mm.
like I don't know how he would feel about that. But that's something I never tell him.
Yeah, well,
Like if he realized and that's something you can do. That's something you can do online that you can't do in person.
yeah.
I have had conversations with him where I'm pretty sure he's been none the wiser. And I have been crying nearly the entire conversation.
That's one of
And
the
it's never
things I
been
love
addressed,
about
it's never been
online.
brought up. I don't bring it up.
Hmm.
But I'm sitting there crying, and I'm sending the smiley faces, and I'm sending the lulz, but I am like crying my eyes out
Yeah.
because it just hurts so much.
That's one of the things I love about online. Like, I'm putting all this emphasis about, like, in person, you can form better friendships and all these things, but I get, like, really anxious talking to people that I don't know as well
Right.
in person. Whereas if I'm trying to use communications
Right.
online or, like, texting or something, I have all the time in the world to think about what I want to say.
Exactly.
Oh no! Oh no!
This level is
So
dumb.
there's like, bonuses and negatives to either side.
Right. But I guess the thing is, like, I kind of went on a date last week, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but, like, because this, like, my best friend online is a guy, like, I've always kind of held on to that maybe.
Friend zone.
Maybe? And, we've talked about it several times, and we kind of and even after I met him, like, we kind of mutually agreed that there was no way it was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not like we only talked about it once. We've talked about it quite a few times.
Yeah, but sometimes the brain can figure something out and
Yeah.
then it just doesn't click with
Right,
the
and then
emotions.
and then he's been super, like, he got a new job and he moved and he's being super social or whatever. Not super social, but, like, so he's moving on with his social life, essentially. And it's like, so when this guy gave me his number,
Oh no.
that's a bad,
You're dead.
Yep. It took me a long time to get back to him because I knew once I messaged this guy back who gave me his number and then I met up with him that I would be letting go of this other part.
Yeah, and
And that was really, really hard for me to do. But I was like, you know what? If he's doing it, it's time for me to do it too.
Yep.
I can't just keep holding on. I can't keep holding out for something that's not going to happen.
yeah, it's healthier to try and find a way to move on.
But, like, not stop being friends with him.
Yeah.
But, like, down to that little part of it.
Yeah, the part that can never be.
Yeah. Just,
Yep.
yeah,
But
it's
good for you for going on that date and getting
Yeah.
back to him, even if it took you a while.
Yeah, it did take me a while. But,
You're like, this is like the first date in a while, so you're just getting back in the
well,
swing of things.
it was the
and
first date in a couple of months, and then before the couple of months, it had been probably... God. Well, I was still in college.
yeah,
That would have been at least 6 years. Longer than that. So, but, yeah, so... But the date a couple of months prior, that I was just, like, desperate, and I'm like, I'll just go on Craigslist and pick somebody off of Craigslist.
no,
When your friends say,
this is bad. This is bad. This is very, very bad.
friends say don't do Craigslist, there's a reason they say don't do Craigslist. It's
No!
not Craigslist is inherently bad, but you just don't know who.
I almost saved that.
Just go somewhere established, man. Because like
Yeah.
the guy I ended up talking to and meeting up with from Craigslist was like just
Bad. Just really bad.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't like he was a bad guy. It just kind of had like a creepy kind of vibe to him. Like
Yeah. Sounds
and,
about
like-
right.
and like he didn't. Like, it wasn't like he didn't take care of himself, but just the way he was dressed. I mean, it's not like you have to be in, like, a suit when we were meeting up at a fucking Starbucks, for God's sakes. But, like...
There's red flags that just sends...
Right. I mean,
creep vibe.
it just didn't seem like he had took care of himself physically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing if it's, like, kind of spontaneous. Like, you know, last week when I met up at this guy, like... You know, it was, like, right after he got off of work.
Yeah.
So it was like, I wasn't expecting him to be like, you know, super dressed up or whatever, but so that I came in with that expectation, you know, of like, this guy's not going to be like super nice and dressed up or whatever. He just got off of work. But, and then he, like the guy a couple months ago brought up this thing about, like his sister's blood being on the walls, and I was like, oh, you're joking, right? And he was like, no. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That died pretty quickly. So.
That's inappropriate.
Oh, the guy from last week was super sweet, though. We've been texting back and forth, so we'll see where that goes. But
Yeah, that's good. Back to the topic of, like, online versus in person. Like, you know, ever since I moved out to the East Coast for graduate school, I pretty much left all my friends behind, and my only contact with them is online at this point.
Right.
And it's really nice to have that kind of contact, because otherwise I would have been really lonely, because I had, you know, a bit of trouble making some friends out here. And, like, I talk to Bodhi online pretty much every day, but even then, like, I start, you know, missing his face.
Yeah.
And I want to go see him, and like I'm gonna get to see him for Christmas, and it's like the best Christmas present ever.
Why do I keep doing that? I don't know, whatever.
So
This fucking level is so fucking stupid it should shove its head up its own ass.
you can come join me with Larry. You know you want to. You know you like the snake blocks.
Except the problem is, like, if I beat this level, it's like a super easy, like, I can beat the game before you.
Yeah.
So basically, we're each one level away from the end of the game, and your end of game is harder than mine.
Yeah, I kind of want you to win, because then we can go through the shortcut. You know, we could just go to Star Road and bypass this, but that would be cheating.
Wait, we can?
Yeah, you unlocked all of Star Road, and we have an access point.
No shit.
Yes, but I kind of want to beat the levels anyway.
God, fuck. Oh, I know I'm doing that now. Okay.
It wouldn't be the super easy entrance that you're going for, though.
Right.
But if you look at the map, you definitely opened up the path. See?
Yeah, I know.
So
I
I could go back and just go straight to Bowser, but I kind of want to defeat Larry anyway. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to defeat Reznor, though. That's the issue we're having right now.
Well, maybe you don't have to defeat Reznor, but it is a shortcut. Hey, kitty cat!
Hashtag first world problems.
This time it's Oreo here. Hey, baby. Hey, little squiggle babel. So, Oreo is a good help. He was helping me when we were having some technical issues, and he helped me by trying to close my laptop. He's such a good baby. Yes, you are. I hate you, cat. Nah, he's just really excitable.
So I don't have to get to the back door.
Yeah,
That
but
didn't even occur to me until you said it.
then I shouldn't have said it. No,
Now I kind of just want to say fuck that level.
you can. Nope. Nope. I can't do it. We could save it for next time we record if we don't make it in the next, like, 5 minutes, because we're close to, like,
Yeah, let's
20
do that.
minutes. So we've got 20 minutes right now. Let's go to like 25, and if we don't make it through any further than we are right now, then I think next time we'll just go the back way and bike past Larry. And maybe we'll come back to Larry later.
Yeah.
But right
And
now, this is getting a little... We'll try and full clear it, but no promises on that.
And we're eventually going to do the special stages, right?
Oh, definitely.
That's going to take us, like, an entire week.
That's going to take us, like, 20 hours, I swear. Nope. This is really hard! This is ridiculous.
It's because I'm being too careful. Yeah. I know it's because I'm being too careful, but it's hard to know with the keyboard
but also, like,
how far to go.
With the keyboard, but also with the lag, it's hard to not be careful because the lag will make you slide all out. So we got the keyboard and the lag screwing you over.
Although even though Hamachi updated, I mean, it's still working better than anything else we've ever tried, so...
Yeah. Hamachi updated, and that was kind of a endeavor to try and get it working. They made it really complicated over what it used to be. Thanks, Mario.
I was doing that... never mind. I can say why I was doing something so well. I cannot critique unless I beat my own damn level that I've been working.
Feel free to critique. We're all stuck in this Mario hell. This is it. This is my limbo. We're going to be playing these 2 levels for the rest of eternity.
That's how we... What was that one castle? Oh, fuck. Now I don't even have the feathers back up.
You could just suicide if you want to.
Oh, it's fine.
What were you saying?
No, I was, because this part's easy enough. And I normally lose it there anyway, so. What was I saying?
Something about... I mentioned something about Limbo, and this is our hell. We're going to be playing these levels forever.
ELO Hell. So there's this thing in League of Legends called ELO Hell because there's, like, basically, ELO is, like, experience, and it makes you up and down, like, the different levels or whatever. So people are like, oh, we're stuck in ELO Hell, and we would do better if, if our teammates were just better, we'd be in a better rank. And it's like, no. Yeah, sure. Keep deluding yourselves. Keep deluding yourselves, LOL fans, because you know it's not true.
Yeah, blame everyone
if
but
you are
yourself.
In bronze, there is a reason you are in bronze.
Blame everyone but yourself. That's how you win.
Exactly. I know, and the thing I love about that game is that I tend to take ownership when I do bad, and people still don't give a shit. I'm like, yes. They're like, oh my god, you're losing. You're the reason we're losing. I'm like, yes I am. I know that. You're still losing. Oh my god, you suck. I know I suck.
I thought we established this already.
I know, like, me saying it, like... Okay. There we go.
Random thought back to something we were talking about earlier about friends and how we're good friends. Like, even then, though, like, before we became such good friends, I had moments where I'm like, oh god, I hope I'm not imposing on her, and I hope she still likes me, and oh god. Yeah.
This is interestingly enough one of the few friendships where I've never actually had that before.
Woohoo! I'm a good friend.
That's really interesting that somebody does that to me. That's my thing.
It was mainly about, like,
people don't do that to me.
Asking you to, play these games with me. I was worried, like, you might get bored of them, or, like, I was too imposing, or, like...
Oh, no, I never got that vibe.
Yeah, like... I know it was incorrect to think that, but it didn't stop me from thinking it.
Somebody thought that way about me at some point. That's kind of weird.
Welcome to Wonderland.
Like, genuinely weird. Like, no, because I do that with other people all the time.
Yeah.
But it's weird to think that somebody did that with me.
Yeah. It didn't last as long as, like, with most other people. Like, but it was tied around, like, asking you to do these Let's Plays and play games with me, and I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not, like, asking too often or something. Like, like, how you sometimes worry that people are only your friends because they pity you, that kind of thing.
Oh, right, absolutely. I have that all the time.
No, not again!
That's
it. No, that was it. Okay. But anyway, I did have that.
Somebody thought of me the way I think of everybody else.
Yeah, but that was before we got, like, really open with, like, our shared depression and, like,
Yeah.
shared anxieties and...
Oh, yeah, it's, like, seriously, like, I mean, like, we have, like, offline conversations sometimes or whatever, even between, like, the last recording session to this one.
Just
like,
checking up, see how you doing, what's new.
It's actually kind of creepy, to be honest, like, how, like, Lizzie will say certain things, and then I'll be like, yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, it's like I'm reading it, and it's like, I could be saying that.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because we even kind of look similar.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw a picture of her, I'm like, it kind of looks like me with longer hair. Like,
yeah. And I think we have, like, similar builds and, like, all these things.
I have a little bit more up top. She has a little bit more down bottom.
And...
Ain't great. Did we discuss that or no?
What?
That I have more T and you have more A, essentially?
Yeah, pretty much.
So...
I don't think we discussed it, like, in detail, but it's like, oh yeah.
We had a conversation. We had one conversation about it once that I have to remember. Oh, this guy, too? He's like, it's weird because he's attracted to me for the reasons I thought I wasn't going to get attracted to. He thinks I have a cute face and a nice butt. I'm like,
that's so great.
I know. I'm like, that's not what I would consider good about myself. But
well,
hey,
that's the thing about, like,
if you think
media.
Sass, go for it.
Oh God. Okay, I haven't seen this yet. Oh God, what am I doing? Oh God, no, where are you going? No! I didn't know what to do! I should have jumped down.
Like, if you like my butt, go ahead. I don't think that's my best feature, but hey, I'm not gonna say otherwise.
Well, I've heard my mom say before, like, you gotta find someone who loves you for what you think are flaws.
That's true. That's a good point.
And, you know, she's got, like, a whole bunch of other advice, but that was something that kind of stuck with me, is even if you think they're flaws, you gotta find someone who appreciates you for them, and not because necessarily that they think they're flaws of you.
Right,
if that makes sense. I mean, there's still some things that are just gonna be flaws no matter what, but finding someone who appreciates some things that you think are flaws. Let's just keep going for a little bit more and call it quits. Finding someone who appreciates you for your flaws and for things that you think are flaws but they don't is what you need to do.
Right.
So,
because there are people out there.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe
all kinds of people out there, and the problem is that, you know, media and society and all those things tell you that there's one standard of beauty.
Right.
There's one thing that people are going to find attractive, and it's not you.
Right. Exactly.
It's never going to be you.
Yeah, and then the weird thing is, even when there are, like, I'm thinking, I mean, it happens with men, too, but I'm thinking of, like, women just because we're women,
We're
right?
women, and there's a little bit more emphasis on women.
It's a little bit more obvious. But even still, like, and then, like, I've talked with various guys. I don't want to make it like I've had 10 gajillion conversations about this over the years, but I've had various conversations with guys over the years, and they're like, no, oh yeah, Nicole, like, those women on TV, like, they're so skinny.
Where am I going?
Like, I think it kicks back and forth, and I think it eventually comes back up around.
I'm not moving.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it, though, if you don't scroll R.
Oh God, there it is, there it is, there it is! No! No!
Oh my God, that worked! Holy fuck.
Ah, the door!
It worked! Oh my God, it worked.
My hands are sweating. Ugh. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Okay.
I can do this.
Pencils.
No! No! Magic Koopa, no!
No. Fuck you, dude. You are a piece of shit. It doesn't matter what video game you're in. You are still a piece of shit.
I can't.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be a... Like, can't you, like, duck jump through there or something?
I'm Tiny Mario. I can't.
No, but you duck, and then you jump. And you can get through there, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Ducking doesn't really change your hitbox when you're Tiny Mario.
Really? Oh. Maybe it's just a mindset thing?
Probably. Maybe holding down slows your descent or something. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to make it back there today, though. But maybe next week I'll continue on that level while you go after Bowser.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's like your level. It's actually just learning where the chain balls are going to be.
Right.
And I found out that if I manage to land at that spot, I can just wait for the thing to come back.
Oh! Almost.
So close. Well, do you want to call it quits? We're at 30 minutes.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I'm so frustrated with this shit.
Yeah, we're done for today.
It's so fucking frustrating. Do you want to give one more try with yours? You were getting kind of far.
Okay, I'll go one more time.
You go one more try. I'm done with mine.
I'll go one more time.
I'm done with mine. I can't get past it.
We'll go one more time, but I think we'll call it quits for today. I don't know if I'll be able to record next weekend. Like I mentioned, my homework is due, I think, next Saturday night, and I have not gotten to it yet. No!
It's super fun what you need to do. You'll have to explain it to me more often.
Oh, definitely. I'll let you know about it. It's all like p-values and like proving of medians and all that stuff. All that wonderful mathy goodness.
Okay, well, speaking of mathy goodness, I'll say this really quick. So I'm doing math tutoring. I used to do math tutoring right toward the beginning of my time at McDonald's, and then I kind of dropped it, and now I'm doing it again.
Yes.
And I had to explain quadratic. I had to explain.
If you want to go get lives while you do this, then we could have something on the screen.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, awesome. So I had to. This is funny because this is actually what I was talking about right at the beginning of the recording. So it'll.
Also, while we were getting lives.
Yeah, it'll be a nice finish. So, the math tutoring I do is for adults who are looking to get their GEDs, so that way they can, get into like vocational school or whatever and get a trade and get a job or whatever, right?
Cool.
So we, do high school level math, which is like algebra and like middle school stuff too, but like, algebra, geometry, stuff like that. And one of the things we were doing was quadratic equations. Now, for those of you non-math nerds or people who slept through most of algebra, which I enjoyed it, but I don't blame
you. It's okay if you don't.
It's not easy. It's not easy stuff. Basically, I don't even need this shit. I just need the lives. So it's complicated, but basically long and the short of it is I had to find a way to explain how to factor a quadratic equation in 10 minutes, and I couldn't do it in 10 minutes. I had to do it in 20 minutes, but it was still too slow. Like, that's how fast these classes go.
Yeah.
Like, it took me 20 minutes to explain, like...
to fully understand a quadratic equation, I would want at least, like, an hour to explain it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because I'd want people to understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Right. So basically what I did was I broke it down into steps. And I said to the person I was working with, I said, look, okay, there's no way in 10 minutes you're going to be able to understand this. Here are the steps I go to factor a quadratic equation. Here is an example problem. Here are the steps I go through, step by step by step.
This is what I'm thinking.
Yes, this is what I'm thinking while I'm going through this. We'll talk about it later.
Because I don't have time.
It still took me too long. And the teacher was like, but I need to do this for the grant program because it's like a government-funded thing, so there's all this, this red tape that goes with it.
Of course.
And so it was like, and then I looked at somebody else's notes from what the teacher was doing, and their notes, well, first off, they said I don't take notes, which is horrifying to hear, like, for me being, like, oh, I actually need to get these lives, that'd be ideal. For me being a long-time student, like, to not, like, if I never took notes in class, like, I wasn't the best student, but I always took notes, and I always go over them before tests. And yeah, I would get B's, and I would be fine with B's, but it was because I took notes up front and did the work up front.
Yeah.
So that horrified me, and then I looked at her notes, and I'm like, there's no way you'd be able to consistently replicate this and be able to solve these problems without looking at the back of the book and trying to figure it out from what the book is saying. But one of the things I kept telling I have like a couple of individual students. I keep telling them is like, I was like, math books, what they expect is that once you've gotten to this, that anything you've learned a couple of chapters ahead of time that you have mastered. They assume you understand that concept coming into this.
Mm-hmm.
So
it all builds on itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Math is huge. Music is like that too. Maybe that's why I like them both a lot. Is because they
Computer science is similar. You learn a basic concept and then you use it every single time it comes up. And it's like you learn how to use a hammer and then they have you build a birdhouse.
Right. Or like, in math you learn how to add and subtract and multiply and divide and, you go from there. Or like even in music, how to put, you learn where the notes go on a scale. And that becomes the foundation for key signatures, chords, chord progressions, like that becomes the foundation for so much. And you have to know where the notes are on the scale in order to do any of that other stuff.
Basically, you learn what a whole step and a half step is between notes, and it all builds from there because progressions and key changes are all about the progression of whole steps and half steps between notes.
Exactly.
And it all builds. If you don't understand the first part, you're not going to get very far.
And so, like, some of these students, like, are still struggling with, like, like how to deal with fractions, decimals, and percent, still don't know their multiplication tables and things like that. And it's really hard to do some of this other, like, balancing equations, or as I like to say, an ax plus b equals cx plus d format.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to balance those if you don't know your multiplication tables. So I think I have enough lives. But anyway, so yeah.
It's just while we finish up the story, so just keep going.
So I was pretty damn proud of myself that I had to explain quadratic equations in 20 minutes. And if anyone would like to I'll actually check comments. I don't normally check comments for these videos, but if anyone would like to understand how that process happened in my brain,
if anyone's interested, we could talk about it next time.
Yeah. Because there actually, when I was thinking about it, there actually is like a consistent formula you can use to factor them. Why did I go into... Fuck.
Start select.
I don't know. I randomly pressed a button. I was getting so excited. Oh, shit.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just take your lives.
Alright, and then we'll start there next time.
Yep.
But I found a way to explain how to do quadratic equations in 20 minutes. The basic step-by-step process.
Pretty good.
And that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'll let you know if there's comments directed towards you, because I get notifications about it, so it's easy for me to check.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Maybe not next week, and as you guys know, Christmas break's coming up, so we might again have to take another break for a month or two, but we'll try.
Now that I'm back up on my feet a little bit better, I mean, that was like, Lizzie's transition to Florida was part of it, and me being depressed because, oh my god, I'm not at McDonald's, what am I going to do with my life was happening. And
yep, and then I got a little depressed because of all the stuff attached to moving to Florida, and all these things. So, we're going to try and get back on a better schedule, but maybe not instantly.
And the other thing that was kind of throwing a wrench in things, too, when I was working at McDonald's was the fact that my schedule wasn't consistent.
Yeah, that was kind of bullshit.
We're doing like Fridays, and because it was like maybe I work Friday, maybe I don't work Friday, I got it mixed up. But now my schedule is set. I work the same times frames on the same days, so it's easier to plan around.
Yep.
So that's a lot. That's actually a lot nicer because then it's the same food and like and it's a smaller store too. So I only have to deal with maybe 4 or 5 people at a time versus like 12.
Yeah.
So when you get overwhelmed by social signals with customers, it's just a lot easier to deal with. So.
Yep. All right. I think we're good for today. Everyone, take care. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Have a good rest of the week or month or however long it takes us to do another recording.
Yeah. Yes. But we're very glad you're here, and we're very glad you stuck around.
Yes,
so.
we appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And take care.